Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to another Brad ASMR video. Anyway, can you guess? Can you guess where I am today? You might have heard something in the background there. And if you guessed it was a seagull, you was absolutely right. So anyway, you don't want to see me, so for the rest of this video, I'm gonna point you out to the Marina here, okay? And I'm just gonna whisper to you. There we are. Hopefully that's a good view. Hopefully that is a good view for you. Okay, so today we are at Lymington Marina. I'm just trying to cover the mic from the wind, but hopefully this wind muffler on this mic works. Okay. So we're where the Isle of Wight ferry. We're where the Isle of Wight ferry comes in from Lymington to the Isle of Wight. And in front of me you have loads of boats at the marina. You have small, like, little dinghy boats, and then you have like bigger, medium-sized boats, and then you got like the multi-million-pound boats over there in the distance. And to be honest, sometimes I like just coming here and relaxing and chilling and just watching the wildlife and the nature and stuff like that, you know. You get to see all different people in walks of life, and it's just a nice relaxing place to be, you know. In fact, at the end of this video you'll probably see the Isle of Wight ferry pull in. But just relax. Enjoy some of the scenery here, and if you're lucky enough to have a marina next to you, maybe take a little trip there and just go watch some boats. There's definitely something relaxing. There's definitely something relaxing about boats. Just the way they move with the flow. They move with the flow of the water, and they bob up and down, and it just looks like a peaceful life, you know. Until you're out in the ocean and you got big waves to come across, you know. Then it might change ever so slightly. And it might get a little bit adventurous and exciting, and sometimes, I guess it's kind of like life. Sometimes it's smooth and steady, and other times there's a bit of adventure and you don't know what's going to happen, and there's a little bit of risk and danger, but it's fun nonetheless, you know. It makes stuff exciting. I don't know if you can see that old boat, that old sailboat. That looks interesting. I wonder if they've sailed the world in that. The places they could go and the things they could do, you know. I'm definitely gonna try sailing one day. Actually, I was scheduled to do sailing, but it got cancelled last minute because, of course, it's all weather dependent. You know. Okay. Just enjoy the sound of the wind and the different sounds of the masts and the sails flapping, and look at that boat now going out. I wonder where they're gonna go. They might just hop over, they might just hop over, they might just hop over to the Isle of Wight. They might just hop over to the Isle of Wight, or they might be going for a big sail. They might be going for a big sail. It's almost like we're hanging out together, you know. We're both sitting on this wall here, like we're both sitting on this wall. Don't know if you can see it, we're both sitting on this wall. Let me show you me, 1 second. There we are. There we are. We're both sitting on this wall, just hanging out, just talking as friends. Talking about our life and just reminiscing, you know, just reminiscing and just talking nonsense. Sometimes that's good, you know. Sometimes you need to do that. Well, hopefully I am good company. Hopefully I'm good company for you, you know. Hopefully I don't bore you too much. I mean, I could get deep and get into the meaning of life and different kind of stars and stuff like that, but we can save that. We can save that for another day, okay? Anyway, do you want to see the Isle of Wight ferry come in? Look, the Isle of Wight ferry's gonna come in now. You'll be able to see him. So this one here, quick fact about this Isle of Wight ferry, it's like the shortest distance to get to the Isle of Wight is from Lymington, and then it's to a point on the Isle of Wight, but it's actually one of the most expensive ones. It's actually one of the most expensive crossings because it is the most, like, it's the smallest boat for sure. It's the smallest boat for sure. So this one's called the White Link Isle of Wight Ferries. White Light London. White Light London. And there's a guy on there, who's actually raising his flag now. The Isle of Wight flag. There's a guy on there who's raising the Isle of Wight flag. Now the Isle of Wight is not its own country. We've actually done a couple of travel videos on the Isle of Wight. It's good fun. It's a different experience, to be honest. It's a different experience, and it's got more of that island vibe to it, you know. There you are. It can be expensive though, so if you are going to come to England and go to the Isle of Wight, just expect to pay a little bit of money because it is expensive. I don't know about you guys. Listen. I don't know about you guys, but just sitting down and watching boats and just watching the open water is one of my favourite things to do. What are your favourite things to do? Where is your favourite spot just to chill? You know, where is your favourite spot to chill? Is it, I don't know, maybe in a library somewhere, or is it overlooking some green fields and pastures, or is it on a beach somewhere, or maybe sitting on top of a skyscraper? Or maybe you're like me and you just like looking over bodies of water because you find it relaxing. Maybe next time we have a picnic here, eh? What would you have for your picnic? I tell you what, my favourite kind of picnic food is like picky bits. Maybe some olives and, I don't know, like Parma ham and some good fruit juice and some nice strawberries and maybe cherries. I'm more like that. I don't know, do you think we'll get along, or maybe you don't like that stuff at all? Maybe you like totally different stuff. Anyway, this has been fun. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Thank you for spending the last 10 minutes with me, overlooking Lymington Marina, watching the boats and just chilling out. It's been really fun. Okay, take care. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye. Thank you for choosing Brad ASMR for your relaxation. Make sure you click on the screen now to experience more tingles.